Hello everybody, it's me, the Echo Complaining Guy. Yep, back at you with another rant on Woowa. This time, it's about Waveplates and daily play limits. Originally, I was going to talk about the Echo complaints I've seen on the internet. Mainly some videos talking about like economy being scuffed. We don't have enough tuners, we don't have enough Echo XP. But it kind of led me down a rabbit hole that showed more of the real problems that Woowa has. And those are Waveplates. Now, if you're somehow watching this video and you don't know what Waveplates are, I'm going to give a really quick summary because it is very important to understand how these things work. They're a currency in the game that allows you to collect necessary materials for leveling up your character. This could be boss materials, Echo XP, character XP, almost anything that is related to just leveling up. Now, the only way to get these things is by waiting. You get about 10 every hour. So every 24 hours, you max out your capacity. Technically, there's an overflow, but it's a slower rate. So you're very much led to get back on sooner. And if you want to be min-maxing, right? Technically, you can also refresh this currency with asteroids, which is the premium currency they have. Well, semi-premium because you can earn it through quests and stuff, but you can also buy it. The reason this is important is, yes, there is monetary incentive to having Waveplates, but there is still only a certain amount of times you can spend asteroids to increase your Waveplates. Anyways, now that I've explained kind of what Waveplates are and how they're used, we need to talk about why they suck. If you're accustomed to gacha, you're very familiar with this type of system and probably will share a lot of frustration with me. My first reason that they suck is they add two constraints to you. They force you to play every day if you really want to min-max, right? And they also force you to only play so much. Now, I assume you guys are going to say, well, they need player retention. They already have that from the guidebook though. So please don't be idiots in the comments and hurt my brain. I'm already having brain damage from previous videos and stuff. So thank you. I mean, now someone's going to comment it. I already know. But yeah, no, that's a terrible way to treat your player. You restrict their freedom, creating tension that is unneeded. If I'm a guy that gets home for the weekend and I just want to grind a game I really enjoy, this system pretty much tells you no. And it's not really fun. I want to play games in my own time and not feel forced to do it when the game tells me to. It's bad. Now, the second reason they suck is they kind of make the ecosystem trash. I already talked about this before in previous episodes, but Echoes have so much RNG tied to them with substats and min-maxing, because technically a lot of substats you want to get, but there's also a number of variables between them. You could get a low crit rate or a high crit rate. But if you want to get a high crit rate with a high crit damage, it's going to take a lot of RNG, right? And having this tied to Waveplates kind of sucks because it's full RNG. You're forced to wait. You don't have enough XP to keep up with all the echoes you're getting. And it sucks. The third reason they suck is resource management isn't fun. Now, sure, this is kind of my opinion, but guys, really, who actually enjoys trying to figure out how much you need to spend on weekly bosses, shell credits, other mats, and the little leftovers you got maybe by scraping by, scraping by, sorry. Maybe it keeps you on your toes, but not everyone wants that. We just want to sit back, enjoy the game at our own pace, whether it be no lifing or just a little bit every day, right? All right. We're almost past most of my gripes, but I do have a few more. I apologize for this being a little long, guys. My fourth reason is they limit the difficulty of core gameplay. The core gameplay is just leveling your characters, right? You want to get on so you can level up your characters. Well, if dailies are too difficult, people will complain. And then you won't have people wanting to play the game much longer if it's if it doesn't fit their criteria. Right? And this is where you get casual mobile gamers coming in and being like, bro, they can't make the game too hard. This is why. If there were options to do more difficult content and it wasn't forcing you to do more difficult content, that would be the ultimate win-win because you get both casuals and sweats. All right. And just one more to throw in. and that's new players can't catch up to us. I asked my friend while we were talking, my friend Nuclear Zach, he might comment in this video. Hi, by the way. Calculated a few things in terms of like maxing out characters and how much materials you need per week. And if you want to max everything out, it's very difficult. With a weekly boss, you can kill it 3 times and you get enough materials to like level up some talents and stuff. But in order to like max out a character, if you're getting a weekly boss every week, you get 2 spare weekly boss components by the time you max out a character, right? And keep in mind, that's also by the time a new character comes out. So if you want to max out every character, it's going to take you many weeks, because two components is nothing. I think you need like 15, I think you need like 20 boss materials or something. It's a lot, right? You need to wait for like 10 new characters to come out before you can get another one maxed out. Now, those are my gripes. That's really all I have. There are probably more to point out, but ultimately, we already have a ton, and we need to come to the question, how do we fix this? Now, I have a suggestion. There's probably a different way they could do this too, but I feel like this is kind of the best in between for both Kuro and the player, because we need to respect both. But I suggest all leveling materials should be infinitely grindable, but allow Waveplates to multiply your rewards drastically, say like 20 or even 50 times. Now, this would still be good for whales and casuals alike. Like, both people would win from this because you still have Waveplates, right? Kuro's getting money. You would have whales paying up for the Waveplates. But you could also introduce more difficult content this way for casuals. Remember we had the problem earlier where we can't do that because it'll make your dailies take too long? Well, this could introduce many fixes for that. You could still have the Waveplates when you hop on daily, and you could still have hard content for sweats. Just have it not maybe related to Waveplates. I don't know. Anyways, it's just overall kind of a win. Imagine if you added this to all the events too. You could add loot drops. Heck, you'd probably find people matchmaking in forgeries now because you wouldn't have like empty lobbies. You could maybe actually play with friends now. I remember one of my biggest gripes with multiplayer is it's so hard to schedule around your currencies because I was out of Waveplates. Anyways, yeah, this would open up the game a lot. Now, technically, yes, you might lose out on a slightly, not slightly, a very small amount of income from people that were spending asteroids before to obtain Waveplates and all that. But you gotta think, you probably will bring even more players over that would spend more money elsewhere because you don't have the daily Waveplate system anymore, right? Having a good game, I think, matters more than any of these predatory daily limits, the FOMO, all of that, because ultimately a good game will sustain players. A good game will bring more players. Word of mouth is really strong and underrated. A lot of people don't realize how much it does to increase player limits. Like, that's kind of how games like Destiny 2 and Warframe have done so well. I feel like I can recommend those games to anyone. But Wuthering Waves or any gacha feels a bit harder to do. I mean, sure, you could blame it on like the Gunner allegations, but I think it's also because the game doesn't really feel like a game after a certain point. It feels like a chore and you can't get on. You can't engage with the game after a certain point. And how can I recommend something like that to a player that might want that? I don't know. Ultimately, I want Kuro to not only make the best gacha games, guys, best gacha game, I guess. I want the best game as well. If you think this feedback was bad, I'd love to hear why. I've thought about this for a while. I was talking about it with a couple people because they share a lot of the same opinions as me. Now, maybe I'm just living in an echo chamber. I don't know. But yeah, if you liked it, make sure to like, share it. I want to see a lot of other people's takes on this because nobody really talks about Waveplates. They act like it's an unchangeable thing. I don't know why, because there are alternatives to it still. And kind of in-betweens, like I'm trying to suggest now. Nothing will change without a conversation, guys. That's why we're having this video. Nobody else is talking about it for some reason. Either that or they are, and they're very small. So I think we'd all benefit from sharing topics on this. Don't be shy to bring up the truth here. There's a lot we can discuss in relation to a system like this. I am very open to feedback. If you guys have stuff, I already said earlier, leave it in the comments. If you liked, like, please share. Even if you don't like this, I would like to hear other people's takes on this because I don't know. With my recent videos, I've noticed a lot of disagreement in some ways, and I'm curious to what we think about Waveplates. This has been my opinion. This has been Space Madness. I'll see you guys later.